Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Today we're asking questions. It's a test. Sorry, pop quiz. No, I've been putting a lot of thought into this. Should I get my own authority right now? I've had my own authority in the past. I got my own authority 2008. The end of 2008 was a horrible time to get the authority. Basically had to go, just give that up because the freight market was absolutely crushed by the financial crisis, and I paid the price for it. So I haven't went back and got my authority back. I mean, I would imagine that authority's long gone. I don't know how that works. I haven't looked into getting that authority back, but I've been thinking about, should I get a new authority? Should I do it? It seems to be all the rage these days, getting your authority. Just, tons of people on YouTube are getting their authority or have gotten their authority in the last year. It's, for me, my thought is it's probably a good time to do it. And maybe I missed the month or the season a little bit, in my opinion, but, getting it while the freight market is good, it's probably a good idea. You don't have to struggle for work. You can build your contact list, stuff like that. Now, I think ideally, if I was going to get my own authority, I'm thinking probably maybe like August, September would be a good time to do it, because you're coming into the holiday season. You can get in with the brokers that don't require experience, like Amazon. Who's the other one? JB Hunt, maybe. So I've wondered, is it the time? Because I'm leased on, and let's get the terminology straight, or not really straight, but let me explain to you how I see it. If you lease a truck from a carrier, to me, that's a lease operator. If you own your own truck or have it financed from outside the company, and you have it leased on to a carrier at a percentage or whatever, you are an owner operator. And if you have your own numbers, you're a carrier. That's the best way I've heard it explained, and that's the way I agree with it. So currently I'm owner operator, but I've went through the authority thing before. I know what all you got to do to get it. I can do a lot of my own paperwork, save on money like that. Insurance quote, like $12,000 a year. So, truck, I owe very little on this truck at this point. Honestly, I pay it off at any minute now. So it's not like I'm struggling, to make truck payment or anything like that. I'm just wondering, the only real hang up I have with it right now, the biggest hang up, well, I have more than one, but one of the biggest is getting a trailer. Trailer rentals are stupid expensive right now. Buying a trailer is stupid expensive right now. So I would struggle to get a trailer, because here where I'm at, 80-20 split, I don't pay for trailer, and that's big. I get a lot of benefits here. They dispatch if I want it. I can pick whatever I want. So, I'm not a big, I've dispatched myself in the past. It's like, to me, you lose revenue if you're like driving and dispatching, because you can't build the contacts and you can't work the load board all day. I guess you can. I see guys going down the road with their laptop on the dash, playing with the laptop, but that's not me. You won't find me, playing around like that while I'm driving. So the thing of it is, dispatching, free trailer, insurance, having a safe place to park when I'm at home. What else? There's a lot of benefits. The office work and the due diligence of keeping an authority active, and all the paperwork done and everything. I get that burden taken off of me. I get a lot here where I'm at, and other things. I'm not going to get into every little positive of it, but there's quite a bit versus, if I get my own authority, I don't have the contacts that they have here. I don't have the, I don't have the power to, when a broker's got, 10 loads, to call and say, hey, I'll take all 10 loads, because, that's how freight works sometimes. That's why, the little bit, like the medium-sized carriers get better freight sometimes, because if a broker's got 10 loads, instead of having to sit in there and making a call, or having carriers call and doling them out one by one, when a carrier calls and says, hey, I'll take all 10 of them that you got at this rate, the guy's probably going to be more willing to pay a little bit more, because he ain't got a time in it. You know what I mean? Like, so I would lose, I'd lose stuff like that. I'd have to start building my customer base from the very beginning. Here, we get those email lists, and, you can pick loads off of them, and I probably, I would just have to start that fresh. And the benefits of having the authority, I don't pay that 20% out. Now, given that 20%, it's not pure profit if I get my own authority, because then I gotta get a trailer. I gotta keep the authority up. I gotta spend time dispatching myself, or hire a dispatch company, which I'm not a big fan of, unless they really prove to me they know something and can do something. So, for me, I think about it a lot, because I know what it takes to run an authority, but I ask myself, am I really better off? That's the question, I struggle with. Whether I could do it or not, I got no problem, I know I could do it. But do I want to spend the extra time doing the back office work, the dispatching? That's time it takes away from me running this truck as efficiently as possible. That takes away from my time of being able to work on the truck myself when it's something, like a shock or an airbag or something like that. That's time that I got. You only get so much time, and that's a big reason I'm leased on right now, because when it comes down to the time factor, when I go home, I go home. Like, I do most of my business paperwork and my tax stuff here in the truck when I'm sitting waiting at a customer for 3 or 4 hours. I try to grind through that stuff while I'm waiting in the truck, so when I go home, I forget about this. But I think the big factor is the equipment, and the fact that we've been in a hot freight market for a couple years now, at least a year and a half, and if you guys have been in hauling freight for a while, it's cycles. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. It's a cyclical business. So I think we might be a little bit deep into the bubble to be getting my authority at this moment right now, because during COVID, I was happy I was here, because I was making more money off of the email freight and the connections that, they have here than I would have been running spot market freight. Just the fact of the matter is, sometimes, like during a hot, spot market like we're in right now, sometimes I'll take a customer load, or I'll take one of those email list loads, just because the familiarity of it, like I've run that load, 50 times. I know it. I know how to make it more profitable, versus a spot market load that might pay a little less, but I don't know the customers. I don't know stuff like that. Or, excuse me, a spot market load that might pay a little more, I meant to say. So there's a little something to be said about power in numbers, and having a carrier that's been, around for 10, 15 years, maybe more than that. I think, I can't remember what year they said they started this, but to me, it's tough, because I know I could run the authority pretty efficient, but that 20% is where the real question lies. That's where you've got to break down what it's worth and what you get from your carrier for the percentage you pay to them. I always say don't get hung up on the percentage, whether it's, 5%, which I don't know any carriers doing a 5%. Let's start it on the low end of 10%, 15, 20, 30. Like Landstar was at 35% of the line haul. Don't get hung up on that. It's really the big picture. You have to do the numbers. And for me, it's with equipment prices the way they are right now and the scarcity of finding a good trailer. I mean, I'm pulling a 2019 Great Dane Everest Super Seal, all the bells and whistles, the chicken lights and everything else, which I don't care about the chicken lights, but I mean, it's got the light package on it. It's got the big carrier unit. It's this trailer. You threw it in on a truck paper ad right now. That's an $80,000 trailer, maybe a $90,000 trailer. Am I willing to risk? I mean, I'm a big fan of owning the asset. If I was making a payment on this trailer, eventually one day it would be mine. But with that being said, I got no cost involved in this trailer right now. And when I bought this truck, I told myself, I said, the key to what I'm doing right now is how much I want to be the most efficient one man, one truck operation there is. That's what I was going for. How much money can one man, one truck make? That was my, that was my mindset when I bought all this. So, when I start breaking down all those numbers of buying the trailer, probably right now, probably wouldn't take much of a hit of not having the connections because the spot market is doing so well right now. But it makes you wonder, nobody knows what the future holds in that, it's like buying a trailer right now. Buying a trailer right now might be the best investment I ever made. Trailers might be 3 times this price next year. Nobody knows. They could also be half price next year, and I got a $2,000 payment on a trailer that's, worth 30 grand next year, and I still owe 4 years of payments on it or something like that, So the big thing for me, and I think I will stay leased on to a carrier because I do get a lot of benefits at this carrier. I do get a lot of extra little perks at this carrier. So I think for me, I'm going to stick with my original idea of, after I weigh it out and I think about it more and more, I think I'll stay leased on right now. I'm not saying getting your authority right now is a bad thing. If you're prepared and you're ready and it's your time, you go get your authority. If you're happy leased on where you are, stick with that because that's where I'm at. I'm pretty happy here. I get taken care of well here. Everybody knows me. And the fact of the matter is, the way I look at it is, if you want to build a fleet, get your authority. Right off the bat, just get your authority. If you want to remain one man, one truck, I think leasing it on to a good carrier that has connections, has, things going for them. It's not just like, you leased on and they book you freight and, that's all. You run their numbers. Basically you run their numbers. For me, in that situation, if I got some, ragged, dry van or whatever I'm pulling, and I'm paying, for, at that point, I may just, say, hey, I got to get my own authority because I could do this myself. But there's a lot of things, if I left here, I would have to spend a lot of time making up on. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think right now, as of now, to answer the question, no, I think I'll stay leased on right now. I like pulling reefer freight, especially I live in Minnesota, so reefer freight's pretty important. These do not freeze loads in the winter are crucial to my, my revenue. Maybe not so much right now with the hot freight market, but in down years, that's a big thing for me. Keeping my gross somewhat consistent, not falling off in the winter. like dry van rates they kind of fall off up here a little bit in the winter, because there's just not as much use for it. A lot of things don't move dry van out of Minnesota in the winter. So uh, for me, getting a reefer on a new authority, um, it'd be a lot. It'd be a lot. So I think right now I just stay leased on. But that's my thought on it. I know I rambled a lot in this video. I appreciate everybody sticking around. I think about all this stuff throughout the day, but I just wanted to get it out and put it on YouTube. See what everybody else thought. Maybe it helps somebody. That's the whole point of this channel, is to help out. And not just you, but also help me. It really helps, talking stuff through. So if you've got any comments, leave them down in the comments. There's lots of stuff in that description this time of year. It's almost Christmas. Get you Cash's King merch. The merch tent's always open. Check out that Mudflap app if you buy your own fuel. And take care of each other. God bless.